Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here we are on XRP daily charts. We're going to be jumping into the XRP charts. We're going to be taking a Shiba Inu charts, and we'll also dip into the Ethereum and Bitcoin charts to see what's going on. And as we've been talking about for multiple days in a row now, the shark fin pattern on the RSI/TDI has been playing out. In fact, we now have also on one of my favorite indicators, the trend lines with breaks by Lux Algo, a confirmed break of trend. And this is a trend that was obviously from way back down in here. Here's what's interesting about this break of trend on the Lux Algo trend lines with breaks. The way that this pattern works when you do research on it is when it hits, it will drop or go up to the oversold or overbought territory. So as we can see right here, the downward side, when it finally broke to the upside, the breakout here on the daily chart, when the breakout on the daily chart occurred on XRP, when it did its moonshot, you can see where it was on the RSI was right here, okay? And that was at a 51. After the break, it played all the way out. It did have some up and down days on the way there, played all the way out to the overbought territory, the 70 line here. Now, this candle, by the way, has not officially closed. So I do want to leave that one caveat. And there is also something interesting happening right here. You can see the bottom of the wick of this candle did just get tapped. So there is still hope that this is going to be rebounding here. However, that is not 100% for sure. If this closes a confirmation candle here, where we do have the break below there, we could then look to see over time, the next week or two, price continuing to drop all the way back down to the 30 level or oversold. So when you have a break to the upside, it runs up to the overbought territory. A break to the downside runs down to the oversold territory. And this is cyclical, happens on every time frame. We can take a look here on the 1 hour time frame. You can see right here, just recently, actually, we had a break of structure here on the trend line. Boom, it fell all the way down, and look, sure enough, RSI all the way down to 30. Now it is rebounding, making its way back up, but just want to show you that's on the 1 hour. Let's even look here on the 10-minute time frame. We have a break on the trend line here, right there. Boom, it fell, and let's see, where did it fall to? Boom, all the way down to the 30 level. So right now on the daily chart, we are getting that indicator. Now there is 1 hour, 37 minutes left in this candle that the break is confirmed only when the candle officially closes. Right now it's still live. So if this were to retrace back up to the top side, it would invalidate the sell signal here, the break of trend. So that is still something we need to keep in mind here. We also have, if you guys have been following along, and if you're not subscribed here, make sure you jump in and subscribe. We do also have our fair value gap that we are going to jump into and take a look here today. Let's see here. I have too many indicators. Let's go ahead and turn this one off. And now we'll turn on fair value. And this filled exactly the fair value gap that we've been talking about now for days. All right. So this fair value gap, which was from this wick up to this wick, it left this big gap here. Well, in fact, it is giving us a little bit. It's showing that we have not officially closed. Oh yeah, never mind. It's officially closed. So boom, that fair value gap is filled. So we're going to jump into the charts here with XRP. We'll be looking at that also in today's video. We are going to be taking a look here. ECB, that is the European Central Bank President, C. Lagarde, warns cryptocurrencies can hinder the role of central banks. And this is a big no-no for the new world order, the whole Illuminati that's coming for us and trying to steal everything from us. They do not want cryptocurrencies to exist unless they control it. So they only want the central bank digital currencies. So they're going to come out and trash all of crypto, of course. Now, another thing we're going to be taking a look into, attorney highlights why the SEC grades XRP as a security. Now, as an XRP member, we do know that this is false as can be, but we'll dive into the other side of the argument, because obviously most of us have been doing tons and tons and tons of research on XRP and the fact that it is not a security And let's find out what they think. Like what's the enemy thinking, right? You always want to know what the enemy's plan is as well. So we will dive into that. And also today we'll be looking at Amazon Shipburner. The next few days may be crucial for burning record amount of SHIB. And hey, if you're new here, my name is Ryan Huggins. I'm a real estate and crypto investor here in Southern California. My job is to help be your crypto shortcut. If you're like most people, you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day researching articles and headlines and watching YouTube videos and studying the charts all day because you have other things to do in your life. And I completely understand. But that is what I do. That is my job. And I bring that information to you every single day on this channel. So if you're into that type of stuff, subscribe. If not, no big deal. Thanks for at least watching. But yes, we are right now on the shark fin, definitely on the downtrend. And we are also busting through some very serious negative downward information here. Very bearish systems coming out. But hey, you know what? We got this really awesome pump to the upside. And I know a lot of the XRP army is like, we're going to 1,000 a coin. So you don't believe in taking profit. But when those of you that are day traders, you were potentially in this, and look at this run up right here. So if we go from here, let's see, what did you day traders get? If you follow just from the break up to the tippity top, and it did hit right exactly on our 1100 moving average here. Check this out, 73%. Now what's interesting, actually, we'll wait. Let's not say you got exactly in the bottom. Let's say you got the next candle, right? After the confirmation break, you entered. Now you're at a 57%. And that's on spot, by the way. If you just entered this, rode this up, and then you exited right there at that spot. And, you know, some of you guys may not even know about the 1100 moving average. Most people don't. I actually just recently found out about it. That doesn't matter. What was important is we had our daily fair value gap that we always talk about. From this May 9th candle here, it left a nice daily fair value gap. It went and filled it. Exactly, dude. Like, come on. These fair value gaps are money when it comes to indicators. And by the way, I'm not a financial advisor. This is not financial advice. It's just financial entertainment, financial education. Do not buy or sell anything because we talk about it on this channel. Now, another thing I do want to show you here, let's jump to the 4-hour. And there is some bad news here, all right? So there's a fair value gap here. There's a micro fair value gap there and a fair value gap here. So tons of fair value gaps left to the downside. Now you may see a little small micro pump here because it's got to go back and fill this last 4-hour candle. These are actually my favorite fair value gaps, when the one appears immediately after the previous candle, because more times than not, let's say you have a downward bias, right? So personally, I think that the price is going to continue falling. And in fact, if we look here on Heikin-Ashi candles, my personal opinion says that price could very likely over the next, week, maybe faster, sooner, is coming to 40 cents, maybe even 39 cents. In fact, there was an even earlier one that we might be in right now. And sure enough, it hit it exactly. So here we are. We dropped down to the 1 hour. These are Heikin-Ashi candles. These give us our supply and demand zones. So we go here, we check this box right here. So this candle right here is a 1 hour supply and demand candle. You can find it through the Heikin-Ashi candles on the 1 hour time frame. And then we go back and look at where that came to. Holy to the moly, right? And then we jump back to Japanese candles, and you can see it also came and filled exactly that fair value gap that we had there, and it came right exactly into our spot. Very, very exciting to be able to use these supply and demand zones to see where price could be going. But here's what's interesting. Price did bounce, and it's starting to rally up, right? So let's look here now. Where would be a good supply and demand zone here? I'm going to go ahead and clear all these drawings, though, because it's getting a little bit dirty there. Boom. Okay. And we'll also turn that off. So now we have a naked chart minus our 50 moving average. We're here on the 1 hour. If this is going to be a potential market rally here over the next few hours or days, this would be where we would be coming to on the daily charts or the hourly charts, right? The supply and demand zone is right here, 47 cents. So a run up from where we're sitting right now should be here to that level. That'd be a 5% gain right there. Actually 6%, pretty close. Well, you'll also notice right now, is the RSI has now broken back inside of the volatility band, and it's started to make its way back to the upside. And that has also crossed over the slower moving average. So the way that this works here, you have a fast moving average and a slow moving average. And so the red, you can see this one right here. If you're looking, this is the outside, the red. So this is our green moving average right here, this line. It's our most important line, but there's also a slower moving average right here is the red one. So when we cross back up like we just did, that's a bullish cross. That's a bullish crossover to the upside on the 1 hour. How high can we go? Well, what's really interesting here on the 1 hour, we take a look back here and we go to the fair value gaps. Where's my F's? Fair value gap. Man. Okay, it was already hidden. Boom, there you go. You can see the 1 hour fair value gap here, 1 hour fair value gap here. Both of those need to be filled. And where does that bring us to? It brings us right to our supply and demand zone there at 47 cents. Now, I'm not saying the price is going up or down. I'm just telling you what the charts are showing us. We have a fair value gap to the upside, leading us right back into our 1 hour supply and demand zone. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out. All right, great. And let's go ahead now and jump back to our weekly supply and demand zones. And as you can see, we have now officially broke the level that we needed to break for our momentum to the upside, which was this right here, that 44 cents, right? So it needed to break that, or actually, sorry, not 44 cents, that's where we're at right now, but that 41 cents, the 41 cent, the tip of that candle needed to break and then turn that into a support, which it did. So boom, it broke that level. Now it has become support. You can also see here our weekly fair value gap. Check this out. Our weekly fair value gap was this candle here. And look at that, price moved exactly up, filled in the entire fair value gap there. You can see right there the wick. And the wick also went right to our 50-week exponential moving average before rejecting off of there. Now you can see this week we do have 5 days, 2 hours left. It's starting to come down and fill, it's starting to fill the downward fair value gap, right? Which is totally fine, because if this came down, filled this gap, and then rocket shit back up to the upside, I'm totally okay with that. Price does not always go up in a straight line. So price moved up hard, comes back down, retests that level, then move up to the next level of our fair value gap, getting us up into that 70 cents range. And when we turn on our supply and demand zones here by using Heikin-Ashi, we go to the last green candle before the down move. We do see here price likely coming back to 77 cents on the weekly charts. Over time, it may take a month or two to get there, but it's starting to make its move to the upside. And also, let's drop to the daily. Check out what's happening on the daily here. If we look here on the daily charts, our daily supply and demand zone for XRP is here. Daily, we mark yellow. Boom, boom. All right. So look, now we do know that our upside target, the exciting target, is at 77 cents, right? Because if it keeps on moving, that's fine. But let's say price needs to come down, retest this zone, then take off to the upside, because it did just miss, right? It just missed our daily supply and demand zone, which was 58 cents, because it rejected right here, and it's doing its little pullback for the time being, which is absolutely fine. It's not a big deal. But what's also exciting is inside of this daily supply and demand zone, there's a daily fair value gap. Okay, so those are multiple confirmations of where price could be going back to, which is really good. Now, the other exciting thing we can do here, we do know right now we're looking at a short-term bearish retrieval of price, right? Because it's coming down. It has the shark fin look here, which is the shark fin is a very, very bearish signal on the RSI movement. So what do? Let's look at our Fibonacci then, from the very most recent low to the very most recent high. Where could price be bringing us back to? You can see right here, the 786 is falling in that 37 cent to 40 cent range. And that's what we've been talking about, is potential of price coming back to. So we're running through, checking all the different scenarios. What could potentially happen? That is where we're at on those scenarios. Now, what's also really important to look at is going back to the 1 hour, going back to the Heikin-Ashi candles, and finding that zone again, which is the zone that we're in right now. It is acting as a support. So right now is an important time in the history or in the present that will tell our future of XRP. So right now it hit its support level and it is rebounding. Does it rebound all the way up, or is it going to just simply do a fake out to the upside like it's doing right now, moving up, and then we have a farther fall back to this zone here at 40 cents? Because when we looked at the Fibonacci here and we went from the most recent low to the swing of the high, we can see that 40-cent level is the 618, right? So the 40-cent level, we could very likely only come to there and then take back off. So, but it's smart to evaluate all of these different possibilities. You don't want to be stuck thinking biasly, right? So we always cover whether it goes up or whether it goes down. We want to know what could be happening, potentially both things. Now, what's also interesting, if we go back and turn that fair value gap on one more time, look at where the bottom of this fair value gap gets us, 40 cents, 39.992. Okay, so keep all that in mind. So in my personal opinion, it is likely price could simply return here to that 39-cent, fill this fair value gap before returning to the upside. Now, a lot of people might start freaking out. Oh no, we're crashing. But that is the whole entire point of running the markets the way that they do. All right, now the other thing we're going to take a look at is this central bank digital currency situation going on, and how the European Union has partnered with, obviously, the United States, and they want to control everyone's money. And some of you guys may be wondering, well, just tell me about XRP. Just tell me about Shiba Inu. All of this stuff is important when it comes to you and your knowledge of what's going on in the financial sector of the world. European Central Bank President Christine Lagarde has continued to raise concerns regarding the growth of cryptocurrencies and their threat to the traditional banking system. Now, this also brings me to a really important point. If you'll notice, you may or may not pay attention to as many articles and headlines as I do, but I try to bring them up for you as often as possible. But you'll notice that a bunch of crypto CEOs have been stepping down, or they've been fired, or they're trying to sell their company. And that is not good. Why? Because there's probably some sort of epic black swan event coming in the future. And I'm not trying to create fear and doubt and FUD, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to let you know that these people, like recently, BlackRock just got involved with crypto by, partnering basically with Coinbase. And everyone's like, yay, we're going to all be rich now because BlackRock is coming into crypto. Well, that's wrong, actually, because what BlackRock is going to do is they're going to crash the markets so they can buy Bitcoin at the least expensive price. Do you think they really want to be buying Bitcoin at $20,000 a coin? Hell to the no. They want to buy it at $500 a coin. Now, is it going to fall to 500? No, I don't think that. But 10,000, maybe even lower than that, it's all a possibility. And remember, we haven't even gotten to the Mt. Gox drop yet. So all of a sudden, boom, crazy hysteria, market crashes, boom, the central banks swoop in. Hey, we'll save you, just like they did back in the day during World War II. Hey, we'll come in and we'll buy your country. And that's why they own the United States. So she did notice the banks need to be involved in matters related to experimenting with digital solutions while pushing for lenders to respond to the demand for digital payments to sustain and anchor the role. We central bankers have been operating as a monetary anchor concerning the commercial banks and the private money. If we are not in the game, if we are not involved in experimenting, innovating, or digital central bank money, we risk losing the role of anchor that we have played for many decades. And do you think they're going to lose that without a fight? No. She then added, and we have historical examples of periods when the central bank monetary anchor was not there, precipitating crisis after crisis. They're scaring you. That certainly was the case at the time of free banking in the 19th century. Do we want to go back to those days? Probably not. So Lagarde's crypto criticism, the ECB boss was speaking in a panel discussing about digital finance, has since been a critic of cryptocurrencies, noting that they have no value. The session was also attended by Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, who delved into developing a central bank digital currency, CBDC, while highlighting that the product would not be anonymous. He shared 4 ideal characteristics of the CBDC. First is intermediated. The second is privacy protected, but the third is identity verified so it would not be anonymous. It would not be an anonymous bearer instrument. And fourth is transferable or interoperable, Powell said. So let me know down in the comments. Are you guys excited about the CBDC that the nanny state and the big new world order wants to help you by giving you digital money so you never have cash and they can turn your bank account on or off if they want to? Or would you like to not have this happen? Let me know down in the comments. Now let's take a look at the attorney highlights why SEC grades XRP as a security. In the ongoing legal case between SEC and Ripple Labs, the commission declared XRP as a security. However, there seemed to be some twists through the unfolding events in the lawsuit. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission is one of the notable regulators in the crypto space. However, as crypto assets adoption and acceptance become broader, many counter activities started springing up within the industry. In addition, the increasing negative impacts and numerous losses of investors' funds spiked the need for crypto regulation. Now, personally, I think that there is need for regulation in the space for sure. So that way there's not as many scams popping up, people losing all their money and all the craziness that goes on. But at the same time, it has to be not where they can take full and complete power over the entire system. Several jurisdictions have different approaches to controlling and monitoring virtual assets. While some countries ban crypto assets, others exercise subtle control. Despite the rigorous methods of some watchdogs, their presence is helping to protect users. SEC meets aggressive enforcement action on any asset and service company that defaults on its rules. The high-handedness of the commission's regulatory approach led to its lawsuit with Ripple XRP. Reasons SEC classified XRP as a security. The Ripple community is getting some calmness through the process flow from some motions filed for the summary judgment. According to some experts, the SEC failed to authenticate the XRP token as a security. And I completely agree with that statement. From the submitted motions, attorney James Fillon interpreted the commission's arguments in the case. He noted that the commission's reports that it wasn't calling XRP security. The lawyer stated that the commission intends to receive judgment on the case through the incorporated secondary sales of tokens. According to the arguments, the SEC claims that buying XRP is an investment in a common enterprise. But it's not, because anyone and everyone that I know that ever bought XRP, the coin, knew that they were not buying stock in Ripple. In fact, most of the people that I know bought XRP because it was cool and they had no idea that Ripple even existed. They just wanted to see their bags get bigger because they had XRP. This includes Ripple and its token holders. The commission, the purchase remains an investment in the common enterprise through vertical or horizontal commonality. In its line of arguments, the SEC implies that the XRP may not be a security per se, but its sales approach proves otherwise. This is because the token has no other possible sales stance but as a security. Commission misses crucial points. Over the past few days, the amicus curiae in the lawsuit, John Deaton, pointed out crucial things the SEC is missing in summary judgment. Deaton stated that the commission failed to provide any price correlated of the XRP token. Price correlation of the XRP token. Also, it could not rely on experts' comments for its motions. According to Deaton, the commission lacks any comment that reflects the influence of Ripple to control the price of XRP. Also, no testimony can prove XRP holders depend on or acted on Ripple Labs' efforts. And recall that the SEC filed the lawsuit against Ripple Labs, accusing the firm of selling over $1.3 billion of Ripple. The commission stated that the sales were between 2013 and 2020. The drag in the case has been if XRP is a security or a currency. Amazon Shipburner, the next few days may be crucial for burning record amount of SHIB. Twitter account SHIB Superstore, run by Travis Johnson, game maker for smartphones, he announced that Johnson is about to beat August by the amount of burned SHIB if, within the next few days, he can get a large amount of SHIB to add to what already has been burnt this month. One of the tools he uses for buying SHIB that later gets burned is Amazon's affiliate program. So 187 million SHIB have been burned. According to the tweet published on Monday, on Sunday, the Shipburn platform managed to remove 5 million Shiba Inu meme coins from the circulating supply. Overall, Johnson stated in a tweet, So far this month, roughly 187 million meme coins have been sent to the dead-end wallets in September, the equivalent to $2,000 earned on advertisements in games and on selling SHIB branded merch and goods. Johnson has also been using commissions received from Amazon, Amazon Audible, and the MEXC exchange. The Amazon affiliate program has been the second biggest earner this month for the platform. MEXC so far has not been contributing much to the burns. Travis Johnson is the only SHIB Army member who has been utilizing the Amazon affiliate program to burn SHIB. So here you have his Amazon affiliate commissions, and then Brickbuster, his game, because he's a game developer. So that is where the most of the money's coming from. SHIB burn rate hits 1,000%. As reported on Monday, SHIB burn rate soared in triple-digit values more than 1,000%. Despite its aggressive figure, the amount of meme tokens sent to the Inferno wallets was not that big. On that day, the SHIB Army managed to get rid of approximately 130 million tokens worth $1,400, according to data provided by Crypti. All right, awesome. Now let's jump over here to the Shiba Inu charts and take a look at this. We'll take a look here on our Hikinashi candles. We'll go ahead and take our last green candle before the big up move right there. That's on the weekly charts. So that is going to be white. Oh, no, we don't want that. Here, color that in white for our weekly. So as you can see right now on the weekly charts, price ran out of this zone, came back in, tippity tapped it, ran out of it, came back in it. So right now, it is just playing like that is the resistance level right now. So let's go ahead. We'll get our horizontal line and we'll mark that as our current resistance. Now we'll get rid of this box and then let's drop it down back to Hikinashi, go to the daily charts, and let's look at our daily options here. So as we can see, this is our farthest drop potential right here, this wick. Since this up move, it needs to break that if it's going to make its way to the downside. All right. So we have that as an option. Now, what we'll see here is it is currently dancing on this box. All right. So that's our daily supply and demand zone that it's dancing in right now. And that is where price has been using it as a support. So if we break below there, we'll have to reevaluate that. But that's good news that at least it dipped in there, broke out, and then now, obviously, as we know, it's at a really, really interesting point in price, this quad 011 section where this is now, and it's kind of going up and down, up and down, up and down. When we look at the RSI, it gives us hope that it could very likely continue to move to the upside. Because you can see here, there's a green background on the RSI right here, right? So instead of the red background, it's green, relatively bullish. When it crosses back over this yellow line or the market baseline, the average, when it crosses above that, that will be even more bullish. And then when we cross back above the 50 line of the RSI, even more bullish. So there is multiple days, before we can consider this back to bullish, but it is definitely a possibility. If for some reason all of those levels were to give way, then we could simply be dropping back to this level here. All right. And that is our daily supply and demand zone all the way down here at that 50827. And we'll continue to monitor that to see if that happens. But here's what's exciting. We are starting to make this move that's potentially an up move. Where would price get us back to on the daily? It gets us up into here, which is the quad 01250. And then after that, we would then have another level, which would be here. And that gets us up into quad 01303. So right now we're in limbo. It's trying to hold support. If we can continue to make this move to the upside, that would be very, very positive for us. Let's look at Ethereum. So Ethereum is actually on the same scenario, right? So right now it is sitting, this is the main daily candle. It's sitting inside there. It needs to break out of that and turn that into a support so it can make its move to here up here at $1,600. Right now, unfortunately, it's trapped in this little zone. It's not wanting to make its way up. It's not getting the volume that it needs. We do have some good, potential bearish scenarios here, potential bullish scenarios on the RSI. It is climbing. It has the green background. It's climbing very, very sharply to the upside. But this is a trailing indicator, and today's candle being a drop candle does not it doesn't bode very well. We have 1 hour, 8 minutes left. It did try to penetrate to the outside, got rejected right off of this bottom side candle right here, got pretty much right to there, just like this one has. And it's being rejected off of that level there, that $1,404. So it needs to break up to like 1,400, claim that as a support, then it can make its way to the next level. If for some crazy reason we lose support of where we're at right now, and the crazy free fall that could potentially happen brings us all the way down to $1,120 or potentially $1,000 again. Heading over to Bitcoin. Bitcoin, look at this. It's just a freaking mess, man. Bitcoin is dirty. Check this out. Like right now, it is just trying to do its thing. It's not getting any more momentum. I will tell you this. One thing that is important is the Dixie. And the Dixie, it's freaking relentless. This is absolutely nuts. It continues to just charge. I mean, at least right now, if we use this wick to this wick to where we're at, we hope and pray that today was the day that we could use that as a resistance. And we have a potential fall from extreme power of the dollar back to like 109. It's getting into crazy extreme highs. We haven't been this high on the Dixie since 2002. Let's go ahead and look at the months so we bring into more data here. And we'll go ahead and do the horizontal line for you guys. This is important stuff to follow, by the way. Like this is kind of one of those tricks. If you follow the Dixie, Bitcoin does the opposite typically. All right. So as you can see here, since 2002, we've been up in these zones before, 2001, 2002, and if we break above these, which we hope and pray this doesn't happen, because that would mean inflation is absolutely out of control. We're going into an extreme recession. We have severe problems in the world economy. But the tippity top of that is 121, which that could likely be where the price is going, right? So if we take a look here on the scenarios that we are currently using for supply and demand, we would do something like this right here would be our monthly supply and demand candle. Let's make it pink and pink. Okay. And then we go back into present day. It's right there. Right. So that would be a potential scenario. It runs all the way up here. It hits this zone. Now, obviously, we could likely see a short-term relief compression back down, because look at where we're at in the RSI. We're up at 84. Absolutely crazy. Outside of the volatility band. This is on the monthly chart. You know, that's freaking nuts. Look here on the weekly chart. We've been doing all this craziness inside above the 70. We've been oversold on the Dixie all the way since back here, November of 2021. Oversold, 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 just staying there on the weeklies. It's crazy. The daily, it's all the way up to the top of the volatility band. Could we have a pullback into this zone? That would be really, really exciting for all the crypto markets, for all the stock markets. You can see today, the stock market had a sprinkle of green in there. It started off horrendously. I'm talking extreme drops, very, very low this morning with some rallies back. But Bitcoin rejected off the 50 moving average here, likely coming back down to its previous lows of 17,567 soon. Right now, it is starting to make a nice little rally up. This 2 days in a row on the Heikinashi green candles, we could likely see something coming back up here to 21,000. That's where I'm watching for short term, 21,000. See if it runs into that. See if it can puncture through, which that would be really, really like very good. If Dixie starts to fall, you'll see this pump through here. And then we also would have the next level up here at 24,000 before getting to that place that, you know, you can see here, this moving average is currently sitting at 28,000. And that is, you know, a pretty likely scenario. If we got a bullish pump, if the Dixie started to fall, we could see it rise up into this zone and rejecting off there. In fact, if we take a look at XRP and look at where price came, right exactly to that moving average, boom. Okay, so we could see that happening for Bitcoin as well to the upside. So we could see some sort of rally here. The November elections around the corner. If they start to pump stocks, they start to pump the economy. They say inflation's under control. So keep an eye out there for all of you guys. stay vigilant.